I'm so glad you're here with us today. We're diving deep into A Course in Miracles, and if you're just joining our community, you might be wondering what this course is all about. I'd love to invite you to check out the very first video on this channel, where I break down exactly what A Course in Miracles is, how it came to exist, and why it's been transforming lives for over 5 decades. It'll give you the perfect foundation for everything we explore together here. Today, we're going to talk about something that runs so deep in human consciousness that most people never even question it. We're going to talk about attack, not just physical violence or obvious aggression, but the subtle, constant, pervasive pattern of attack that underlies almost everything we think, say, and do in this world. Attack is so normalized in our society that we don't even recognize it as attack anymore. When you judge someone silently in your mind, that's attack. When you criticize yourself for not being good enough, that's attack. When you gossip about someone behind their back, that's attack. When you hold a grievance against someone from years ago, that's attack. When you defend your position aggressively in an argument, that's attack. When you wish someone would suffer consequences for what they did to you, that's attack. We attack constantly, reflexively, automatically. We attack because we believe we need to protect ourselves. We attack because we believe others deserve it. We attack because we believe it makes us strong. It proves we're right. It keeps us safe. The ego has convinced us that attack is not only justified, but necessary for survival. But here's what A Course in Miracles reveals with stunning clarity. Attack never serves you. Never. Not once. Not ever. Every single time you attack, whether it's someone else or yourself, whether it's with words or thoughts or actions, you imprison yourself further in fear. You reinforce the belief in separation. You strengthen the ego's grip on your mind. You move further away from peace, further away from love, further away from your true nature, and yet we cling to attack like it's our lifeline. We genuinely believe that if we give up our right to attack, we'll be vulnerable, we'll be weak, we'll be victims. This is the ego's most clever deception. It tells you that relinquishing attack means surrendering your power, when in reality, holding on to attack is what keeps you powerless. Think about your own life right now. How much mental and emotional energy do you spend on attack? How many of your thoughts each day are judgments, criticisms, grievances, defenses, justifications for why someone deserves your anger or condemnation? How exhausted are you from constantly being on guard, constantly ready to defend yourself, constantly ready to strike back when you feel threatened? This is no way to live. This is not peace. This is not freedom. This is prison. And the bars of this prison are made entirely of your own attacks, your own defenses, your own belief that you need protection from a hostile world. Today, we're going to explore the radical, revolutionary teaching that A Course in Miracles offers us, the relinquishment of attack. We're going to understand what attack really is, why we do it, and most importantly, what becomes possible when we choose to let it go completely. This isn't about becoming passive or weak. This isn't about allowing others to walk all over you. This isn't about denying injustice or pretending everything is fine when it's not. This is about discovering true strength, the kind of strength that comes from recognizing your absolute invulnerability, the kind of power that comes from knowing that nothing in this world of illusions can actually harm what you truly are. When you relinquish attack, you don't lose anything real. You only lose your pain, your fear, your imprisonment. You discover that defenselessness is your greatest defense, that vulnerability is your greatest strength, that forgiveness is your greatest power. Are you ready to explore this? Are you ready to question everything you've been taught about protection and defense? Are you ready to consider that there might be another way, a way that leads to genuine peace rather than temporary victory? A way that leads to freedom rather than continued imprisonment? Then take a deep breath, open your heart and mind, and let's begin this journey together. The relinquishment of attack is the doorway to peace, and that doorway is opening right now. Let's start by getting crystal clear on what attack actually is, because until you understand this deeply, you can't recognize how much you're doing it, and you certainly can't choose to stop. Attack, at its core, is always a defense. Always. There are no exceptions to this rule. Every single attack, no matter how it appears on the surface, is a desperate attempt to defend yourself against a perceived threat. The ego sees threat everywhere. It sees threat in differences of opinion. It sees threat in criticism. It sees threat in rejection. It sees threat in loss. It sees threat in change. And what does the ego do when it perceives threat? It attacks. But here's what's absolutely crucial to understand. The threat is never real. The threat exists only in the ego's interpretation of events. The threat is a projection of your own fear onto the situation. You feel afraid, vulnerable, guilty, or ashamed, and so you perceive the world as attacking you. And then, to defend yourself against this perceived attack, you attack back. This creates the most vicious cycle imaginable. You attack because you feel threatened. Your attack makes others feel threatened. They attack back to defend themselves. Their attack confirms your original belief that you are under threat. So you attack again, more strongly this time, and the cycle continues, escalating, intensifying, creating more and more pain, more and more separation, more and more fear. Think about the last argument you had with someone. Really think about it. What started it? If you trace it back honestly, you'll find that someone felt threatened. Maybe you said something that they interpreted as criticism, and they felt attacked. So they defended themselves by attacking back, perhaps with a sarcastic comment or a cold tone. Now you felt attacked, so you escalated your defense with a stronger attack. Back and forth, each person convinced they're only defending themselves. Each person convinced the other person started it. This is the attack-defense cycle. And it's playing out constantly in every conflicted relationship, every war, every grievance you hold. And here's the most shocking truth that A Course in Miracles reveals. When you attack anyone, you are actually attacking yourself. How is this possible? Because there is no separation. The separation is an illusion created by the ego. In reality, we are all one. We are all part of the same divine mind, the same consciousness, the same eternal spirit. When you attack your brother, you are attacking a part of yourself. When you judge another person, you are reinforcing the judgment against yourself. When you wish harm on someone else, you are imprisoning yourself in that harmful energy. Every attack is ultimately self-attack. This is why attack never brings peace. This is why winning an argument never actually feels good in your soul. This is why revenge never satisfies. This is why holding grudges creates such heaviness in your heart. Because at a deep level, you know that you're attacking yourself. The ego doesn't want you to see this. The ego wants you to believe that attack is external, that it's justified, that it's necessary, that it's someone else's fault. As long as you believe this, you remain trapped in the cycle. You remain imprisoned in fear. You remain separated from love. But when you begin to see attack for what it really is, when you recognize that every attack is a fearful defense against an illusory threat, when you understand that attacking others is attacking yourself, everything changes. You begin to see that you have a choice. You don't have to defend. You don't have to attack back. You don't have to participate in this insane cycle. There is another way, and that way begins with seeing attack clearly, recognizing it in all its forms, both obvious and subtle, and understanding that it serves only to imprison you in the very fear you're trying to escape. This recognition is the first step toward freedom. And now, let's explore what freedom actually costs you. Now that we understand what attack really is, let's talk about what it costs you. Because the ego has sold you a lie. The ego tells you that attack gains you something. It tells you that attack protects you, strengthens you, proves you right, keeps you safe, gets you justice. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Attack costs you everything that matters, and it gains you absolutely nothing real. Let me be very clear about this. Every time you attack, you lose peace. Every single time, without exception. You cannot attack and be at peace simultaneously. It's impossible. Attack and peace are mutually exclusive states of mind. When you choose attack, you are choosing to abandon peace. When you hold on to a grievance, you are actively choosing to reject peace in that moment. Think about this honestly. When you're angry at someone, criticizing them in your mind, rehearsing all the ways they've wronged you, planning what you're going to say to put them in their place, are you at peace? Of course not. You're agitated, tense, upset, disturbed. Your body is filled with stress hormones. Your mind is racing. Your heart is closed. There is no peace anywhere in that experience. And here's what's even more devastating. Attack doesn't just cost you peace. It costs you love. Every attack is a barrier you place between yourself and love. Every judgment you hold is a wall you build around your heart. Every grievance you nurse is a lock you place on the door to intimacy, connection, and joy. When you attack someone, even silently in your thoughts, you cannot experience love for them. You've made them your enemy. You've separated yourself from them. You've placed them outside the circle of your compassion. And in doing so, you've cut yourself off from the love that is your true nature, the love that is your only source of genuine happiness. But it gets even deeper than this. When you attack, you imprison yourself in fear. This is the ultimate cost, and it's the one the ego desperately doesn't want you to see. Every attack is rooted in fear. You attack because you're afraid. You're afraid of being hurt, being diminished, being wrong, being rejected, being abandoned, being exposed, being powerless. And when you attack from that place of fear, you don't release the fear. You reinforce it. You strengthen it. You make it more real in your experience. Here's the cruel irony. You attack because you want to feel safe, but attack is precisely what makes you feel unsafe. When you attack, you're declaring that there really is something to fear, that the threat is real, that you are vulnerable, that you need protection. You're reinforcing the very belief system that's causing your suffering in the first place. And let's talk about what the ego promises you'll gain from attack. The ego says you'll gain power, respect, vindication, justice. But have you ever noticed that these gains are always temporary and hollow? You win the argument, but you lose the relationship. You prove you're right, but you feel empty inside. You get revenge, but it doesn't heal your pain. You defend your position successfully, but you don't feel more secure. This is because attack cannot give you anything real. Attack operates in the realm of illusion, and illusions cannot satisfy your soul. Your soul hungers for love, for peace, for connection, for truth. And attack moves you away from all of these things. Let me ask you something powerful. What would your life look like if you gave up attack completely? If you stopped judging others, stopped criticizing yourself, stopped holding grievances, stopped defending your ego, stopped trying to prove others wrong, stopped attacking in thought, word, and deed? Can you even imagine that freedom? Most people can't imagine it because they're so identified with attack that they think it's part of who they are. They think their judgments make them discerning. They think their criticism makes them smart. They think their grievances are justified. They think their defenses keep them safe. But all of this is the ego talking, trying desperately to maintain its grip on your mind. The cost of attack is your peace, your love, your joy, your freedom, and your awareness of your true, invulnerable nature. The cost is everything that makes life worth living. And what do you gain? Temporary satisfaction of the ego, fleeting moments of feeling superior or vindicated, and the constant exhausting burden of maintaining your defenses against a world you've made into your enemy. It's a terrible bargain. It's the worst deal you could possibly make. And the beautiful news is that you don't have to make it anymore. You can choose differently. You can relinquish attack. And when you do, you discover something absolutely miraculous. You are already safe. You always have been. You never needed attack to protect you because what you truly are cannot be attacked. Let's explore that truth now. And now we arrive at the most transformative, most liberating, and perhaps most challenging teaching in this entire section, the power of defenselessness. When I say you can relinquish attack completely, when I say you can choose defenselessness, your ego immediately panics. It screams, "But then I'll be vulnerable. I'll be weak. People will take advantage of me. I'll be hurt. I can't possibly give up my defenses." But here's the radical truth that A Course in Miracles teaches. Defenselessness is not weakness. Defenselessness is the ultimate strength. When you are truly defenseless, you are acknowledging something profound. You cannot be attacked because what you truly are is invulnerable. Let me explain this carefully because it's absolutely crucial. When you defend yourself, you're actually saying, "I can be hurt. I am vulnerable. This attack has power over me. I need to protect myself because I am weak." Every defense reinforces the belief that you are a fragile body-mind that can be damaged, diminished, or destroyed. Every defense strengthens the illusion of your vulnerability. But what if you're not actually vulnerable? What if your true nature, your spirit, your essence, is completely beyond attack? What if nothing in this material world can touch what you really are? If that's true, and A Course in Miracles teaches that it absolutely is true, then defense is not only unnecessary, it's actually harmful. Defense keeps you believing in the illusion of vulnerability. Think about Jesus on the cross, the example that A Course in Miracles uses repeatedly. They were attacking his body in the most brutal way imaginable. And what did he do? He didn't defend. He didn't attack back. He didn't argue or justify or try to protect himself. He remained in perfect peace. Why? Because he knew that they couldn't touch what he truly was. They could torture the body, but the spirit remained untouched, invulnerable, eternal. This is the strength of defenselessness. This is the power of choosing not to attack. You're not being passive. You're not being weak. You're not allowing yourself to be victimized. You're standing in the absolute certainty of your true invulnerable nature. You're recognizing that attack has no power over you because you are spirit, not body. You are eternal, not temporary. You are love, not fear. Now, I know what you're thinking. But I live in the real world. I have a body that can be hurt. I have emotions that can be wounded. I can't just pretend I'm invulnerable when I'm clearly not. And you're right that in the experience of the ego, in the world of form, there appears to be vulnerability. But here's what's so profound. The more you practice defenselessness, the more you experience your actual invulnerability. Let me give you practical steps for how to begin this practice, because it is a practice. You don't just wake up one day completely defenseless. You choose it moment by moment, situation by situation, gradually training your mind to see differently. First, start noticing when you feel the urge to defend yourself. Someone criticizes you, and immediately you feel that familiar tension, that need to explain, to justify, to prove them wrong, to attack back. Just notice that urge. Don't judge it. Just observe it. This awareness alone is powerful because you can't change what you don't see. Second, pause before you defend. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what am I really defending? My ego? My self-image? My need to be right? Recognize that whatever you're defending is not your true self. Your true self needs no defense because it cannot be attacked. Third, choose a different response. Instead of defending or attacking back, try simply acknowledging what the person said without resistance. I hear you. Thank you for sharing your perspective. I'll consider that. Notice how much energy you save when you don't engage in the defense attack cycle. Notice how much more powerful you feel when you're not reactive. Fourth, practice seeing attack as a call for love. This is one of the most transformative teachings in the Course. When someone attacks you, they're actually crying out for love. They're in pain, they're afraid, they're disconnected from their own true nature. If you can see their attack as a desperate plea for love rather than a threat to you, everything changes. You can respond with compassion instead of counterattack. And finally, remind yourself of your true invulnerability. Nothing this person says or does can change what you truly are. Nothing can diminish your worth, your essence, your eternal nature. When you stand in this truth, defense becomes unnecessary and attack becomes impossible. This is the path to true strength. This is the relinquishment of attack. It's not about being weak or passive. It's about recognizing that you are so far beyond anything in this world that can harm you that defense is simply unnecessary. You are spirit. You are eternal. You are love itself. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can change that truth. When you choose defenselessness, you step out of the ego's insane cycle of attack and defense. You step into peace. You step into your power. You step into the truth of who you really are. We've reached the end of this profound journey into one of the most liberating teachings A Course in Miracles offers us. And what a transformation becomes possible when we truly understand and apply these principles. We've explored something that has the power to completely revolutionize your experience of life, your relationships, and your inner peace. Let's recap these essential truths that can set you free starting today. First, attack is always a defense against a perceived threat, and every attack is ultimately self-attack because we are all one. Second, attack costs us everything that truly matters: our peace, our love, our joy, and our freedom, while gaining us nothing real in return. And third, choosing defenselessness is not weakness, but the ultimate strength, because it recognizes our true invulnerable nature as eternal spirit. These teachings aren't just beautiful ideas to think about. They're practical tools you can use right now, in this very moment, in your very next interaction. The next time someone criticizes you, the next time you feel the urge to judge, the next time you want to defend your position aggressively, you have a choice. You can continue the old pattern of attack and defense, or you can choose the peace of defenselessness. You can recognize your true invulnerability and respond from love rather than fear. Imagine living without the exhausting burden of constant attack and defense. Imagine relationships where you don't need to prove you're right or make others wrong. Imagine a mind at peace because you've relinquished the need to attack. This isn't just a dream. This is available to you right now, through the simple choice to see differently, to choose love over fear, to choose defenselessness over attack. If this message has touched your heart today, if something within you has recognized this truth and feels ready to choose differently, I'd love to invite you to help spread this light to others. Click the like button so this video can reach more people who need to hear this liberating message. Subscribe to this channel to continue this transformative journey through A Course in Miracles every single day. We explore together these profound teachings that have the power to awaken us from the dream of suffering. And please, share this video with someone who needs it. Maybe you know someone who's caught in constant conflict, someone who's exhausted from always defending themselves, someone who believes attack is necessary for survival. This message could be exactly what their soul needs to begin choosing peace instead of war, love instead of fear, freedom instead of imprisonment. I would absolutely love to hear from you in the comments. How do these teachings resonate with your own experience? Where do you find it most challenging to relinquish attack? Have you experienced the freedom of defenselessness in any area of your life? Your insights and questions create such a beautiful space of learning and growth for our entire community. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here today with such openness and willingness. Thank you for having the courage to question everything you've been taught about attack and defense. Thank you for being part of this beautiful community that's choosing to awaken together to the truth of who we really are. Remember, you are invulnerable. You are eternal. You are love itself. Nothing can attack what you truly are, and therefore, you need never attack in return. This is your freedom. This is your peace. This is your true nature. Carry this truth with you today and every day. Choose defenselessness, choose peace, choose love, and watch as your entire world transforms. I'll see you very soon for our next exploration of A Course in Miracles. Until then, may you walk in peace, free from all attack, resting in the certainty of your eternal invulnerability.